All right, guys, just getting wrapped up here at Lake Logan Martin. Had a good event, managed to scratch up a 17th place finish on a lake that has been very difficult to catch a quality fish on, but very easy to catch a lot of numbers of fish. If you want to go fishing somewhere just for fun, Logan Martin should be on your list. It's absolutely full of, you know, 13 to 15-inch spotted bass. But basically, what I did to key on catching the better quality fish that I caught this week, it's kind of a three-pronged approach for me. I got to spend a lot of time throwing a Carolina rig. This is something that I did a little bit in practice, and it just seemed like, you know, I didn't really think it was that awesome in practice, but it kind of got better and better for me as the tournament went along, which is kind of how my whole tournament went. Um, I junk fished a lot in practice and kind of settled on these three things as the tournament developed. But Carolina rig setup I was throwing was real simple. Just a 3/4 ounce weight, a plastic bead. I never used glass. This is a new BKK swivel, which is a really good swivel, and a BKK 3/0 hook. It's 15-pound test high seas line straight through. I was throwing it on one of my favorite TFO resolve rods. This is the 7'6" heavy, which is a fantastic Carolina rig. I was throwing this bait. The rod really helped me in this tournament because I was casting the bait a real long distance to stay way off of those fish, because a lot of them were only in 3 to 5 foot of water. Making really long casts, having that longer rod really makes a big difference when you're trying to set the hook at on a 50, 60 yard cast. So the bait I was throwing on the Carolina rig was the Black Label Hollow Point Finesse in cockroach color, and I was just dying the tail chartreuse. A spotted bass seem to always like a little chartreuse tail. Just dying the little needle part chartreuse. You can see it's just a real natural brown chartreuse color. Um, the cockroach colors really just became one of my favorite colors that we make in the Black Label Plastics line. The other thing I was doing was I was keying on some fish that were on just isolated targets, stumps, little areas of rock, individual brush piles, as well as docks, deeper docks on the main lake, with the Jackal rearrange. This is a 110 rearrange MR, and I was using the MR version. It just seemed like the little bit deeper bait helped me a lot. Throwing it on the TFO Resolve 7'1" medium plus. And always on all of my hard baits, I'm always going to change the hooks to these Spear 21s. If y'all haven't tried these Spear 21s from BKK yet, they are absolutely incredible. These are size 5s. Actually, it's a 5.65. I've showed y'all how to do that in a couple different videos and why I like it. The 5.65 combination just keeps the hooks from tangling, and it lets me put a bigger hook in the front, a bigger hook in the back, and keep the bait balanced well. Threw this on also I didn't mention the arc reel. This is the first tournament that I've got to fish these arc reels, and I'm blown away at how impressive these reels are. I can cast this jerkbait so far. You talk about how far I was throwing the Carolina rig. The arc reels are a big part of that. The other thing I was doing when we had really adverse conditions the first day, it got real calm and real still. No wind, bright bluebird size, just a slick, calm day. And it seemed like with no current in the river, a lot of those fish kind of suspended. At about 12 o'clock, it got hard for me to catch those fish that I had been catching on the Carolina rig and the jerkbait. And I got to notice them on my live scope just being suspended kind of out off those targets. And I used the Jackal drift fry. This is the 4-inch drift fry on a 1/8 ounce head to catch those suspended fish. I did catch a couple of key fish. You'll notice I was also dyeing the tail of it with a little bit of chartreuse dye. So that was really, it's kind of junk fishing, but with just a few baits. And I like to do that. That's something that suits me. This, by the way, is a new prototype rod from TFO that I'm absolutely in love with. I'm not sure when this rod is going to be on the market, but this is a 7'1", a 7'1" 3-power, and it is absolutely perfect for this, drift strolling, mid strolling type technique. But that's pretty much Logan Martin for me in a nutshell. I did fish the lower end of the lake. It seems like that's where the most fish were for me. I think the tournament was one on the upper end, which is normally my luck. I chose to go the wrong direction, but it all worked out. Had a good tournament, and I'm very thankful for it.